Hey guys, Nolar here, back on the 5-9 mobile channel. And today we're going to be talking about something kind of controversial, because again, we're taking the piss out of Netmarble, and that's usually my specialty, my forte. But this time we're focusing it around the cryptocurrency injected into gacha games, or in gaming as a whole, but in this case in gacha gaming. And we're going to give you a breakdown on what's going on, framed around Ni No Kuni. Now, I've got Gail with me. He's played Ni No Kuni, so he's got an idea of what we're talking about here. So Gail, say hello to the beautiful people.
Hello guys, I'm looking forward to this one, because when we did the first impressions, I did say, we might come back to the topic, we'll talk about it a little bit in detail, after some days of thinking about it, looking at other people's thoughts as well, because this is a very, very precarious situation, because, so far gacha games have been, they have been very predatory anyways, but now they're gonna be taking it to another level by adding NFTs, and cryptocurrency as a whole. So it's gonna become a little bit tricky. I'm curious to see what other people have to say as well. But yeah, here today I'm very interested to get into this topic, because honestly, before this video, we were just like, we need to look up on this, because there's a lot of stuff to consider and factor in before we make this video.
Yeah, so before we dive all right into it, guys, if you want to hear more stuff about mobile gaming, gacha gaming, all that kind of stuff, definitely hit that like button on the video. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Give us your thoughts down below in the comments, and we can try to make this a civil conversation and discussion, because yeah, this is a little crazy. So let's get into it. All right, so we've got Netmarble. They just released Ni No Kuni Crossworlds, which is their MMORPG on mobile. And I mean, Gail, you played it. What are your initial impressions on that? I mean, we have a video for it, but just give us a synopsis of it.
Initial impressions weren't great. As a game, I'm looking at it as a game, right? Because I went into it kind of expecting, I mean, they did call it an MMORPG, but I didn't realize how much similar to it would be to an MMORPG. I was kind of expecting sort of like more a multiplayer version of like Genshin, but Ni No Kuni basically. But it's a full-blown MMORPG. It's literally like if you were playing like Lost Ark or something like that basically, which is fine. I think that was very interesting to me. I was like, oh, that's kind of nice and cool. But then I started to have a couple of niggling issues. Some of the stuff, we had a lot of tech issues getting into the game, first and foremost. Part of that was definitely on us, more so than the game itself. But then the game sort of kind of, had a little bit of a problem where it was just autoing only for the majority of the game. Now, I have found out since then you can turn it off, but there is still an element of autoing. And, considering all things said and done, most people will, want to just leave it on auto instead, which kind of removes you from the game itself, in my opinion. But in terms of the design, the graphics and everything, it looked pretty decent. I think I really liked how it looked. And in terms of the gacha system, it was a bit of a hit or miss. The rates seemed okay. It's just that the featured rates were really, really awkward, because some of the other 4 stars were higher rates than the featured rate up, which was really confusing to me, to be quite honest. Really, really odd. And some of the 4 stars had different rates from other 4 stars. So overall, the gacha system was a little hit or miss. Outside of that, it was decent. I would say overall, just a decent experience. It did have its flaws, but I think it's something that they can easily fix, especially it being an MMORPG. I hope they would, inevitably add fixes and, adjustments according to what they hear from the player base.
Yeah, so I mean, based on what I saw, it looks like an auto MMORPG, which is, typical for mobile. And it looks great. It's got the Netmarble polish. I think you guys understand what I mean by that. But again, short of it's Netmarble, so there's always going to be something scumming around it. And here's the thing. So they implemented the cryptocurrency NFTs in the game. Well, I think it's more cryptocurrency, not necessarily NFTs, but they put that element in there, and that is something that has been pervasive around gaming as a whole. When you're talking outside of gacha gaming, like Square Enix wants to dive full headfirst into NFTs and all that kind of stuff, there's been some pushback. And right now we've got our first controversy and with Netmarble on this game. So as you can tell here, gacha gaming subreddit, someone wrote out that Netmarble was locking the best in slot PvP gear behind massive PvP paywall crypto, offering it to top ranked players basically on a silver platter, so there's no game balance. So Uh, yeah, the game, like there's your typical gacha stuff. You got diamonds that you could buy with physical money to then do your summons, right? That's just every gacha game. We all know that. You got your premium currency. But then there's a secondary currency that you can earn in the game, and it's called, at least in Ni No Kuni, Territe. And what's the second one again?
Astrite.
If you go to the next page, Astrite, right? So Astrite and Territe are things you can earn in the game either through logins or through dungeons and raids, and just playing the game as a whole. Then you have to link a Marble X wallet, which you then can convert the Astrite and the Territe into Marble X cryptocurrency, this page right here shows you, or this image right here is the straight up. You gotta link your wallet, and you have your Territe. That's what NKA is, and Astrite. You can exchange that. Now that's all based on a particular conversion rate, exchange rate that varies day to day, time to time, just like US dollars to Canadian dollars or any currency to another currency. Yeah, math, right, guys? If you I mean, I liked math, but this gives me some horrible flashbacks from high school. So anyways, the main point is the game is offering you an option to quote unquote earn money, right? That's how they're going that way. You play the game, you earn your tokens, you exchange those tokens for cryptocurrency, and then you decide what to do with that cryptocurrency afterwards. Hold on to it as it appreciates in value, or sell it off for actual real earned money. But the problem is they are blocking the paywalling the gear with cryptocurrency, right? So Astrite, you have to buy Astrite, and the way to do that in the game is you buy black diamonds, you convert those black diamonds to Astrite, and then you buy, if you go back to the last image of the top, you buy the gear. And this is the best in-slot PvP gear in order to compete. So 90,000 Astrite for some of this stuff and all that. And yeah, you could tell like this is some of the best stuff that's going on, damage reduction, all the
I'm just seeing damage reduction minus 15% from other players. Yeah, it's literally meant for PvP. And the other thing is like, I think we were gonna get onto this. You literally
you get your prizes are like Astrite, right? So if you invest, so the reason this comes up is for whales. Like if I was to play this game and I wanted to get the top rankings, I would have to buy that gear to ensure I get top rankings. And as a reward for investing money into Astrite, I would be rewarded with, if I was number one, 100,000 Astrite, which whatever the conversion rate is at the time, I can convert that to Marble X wallet, right? Or a token. So yeah, this is interesting as a whole, because Marble X is it's its own crypto strictly for gaming, and there's lots of companies that are associated with it. You can see right now $14.43, I think that's US dollars, for one Marble X. So the value has gone up, has gone up. I mean, it was hovering around 1370. Now we're hovering at 1430. What does it look like year to year? Okay, so it's gone down a bit.
This has been the last 7 days. So oh my god, this has been the last month. So it was at its highest on the 6th of May. It was at $51, and then it's just gone down. It's kind of stabilized now in the last couple of weeks. It's around the same price point, but I mean, this isn't very inspiring to say.
What's it look like 3 months?
Let's look at 3 months. Yes, we'll have a look. Okay, so its highest was 69. Nice. 71. Sorry, 71.
68.
Yeah. So, and it's just gone down. It hit a peak point again, but it's been going. The trend isn't looking too good. I assume once they do drop more games, it might go back up a little bit, right? But the thing is, you're gonna be adding, right? Like right now, they're showing that there's only, is that 1 billion if I'm not mistaken?
1 billion. Yeah, 1 billion coins. Yeah.
And they've mentioned it here as well, that the maximum amount that people have
right there. Yeah. 1 billion coins will be tokens will be issued initially. Additional tokens may be injected into the coin economy as necessary to expand it. Yeah. And I don't know. That's a whole can of worms that we could get into later. Yeah. But right now, like, this is an issue. If you wanted to play the game and have some fun in PvP, unless you are actively spending money to get to the top ranks, you're not going to get it. And the thing is, it's hidden behind this particular cryptocurrency. So they initially said it'd be very minimal to the game, but if you can literally buy the best in slot pieces of gear, the number one ranking, that's not minimal, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not minimal at all. Yeah, it's to me it seems really really awkward.
Yeah.
You know, this automatically would turn me off. Again, and that sounds weird for me because most of you would be like, well, you're a whale, you'll spend that anyways. Why not earn something out of it? But like, I just don't like the concept of cryptocurrency inside our gaming, which is supposed to be fun, right?
Yep. The thing is,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, this guy makes it a valid point. Like you said, right? As a whale yourself, it just doesn't feel right. But even then, it's the same thing that this guy is saying. Whales don't even want this because at that point, there's nothing left to work on. What's the point of grinding if you have the best gear by just, slapping some money into the game, basically, right? So it's a very, very tricky situation. In my opinion, I don't necessarily. For me, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, I love cryptocurrency or I hate cryptocurrency. At the end of the day, if people are interested in it, they can do whatever the frick they want, basically. But the thing is, they went out of their way to say, like, yeah, this guy says it in the second point right here. They said that crypto was going to be minimal. It was going to be an additional way for people to do what they want. But from what I've seen and from what I've been looking at videos and just content in general, is that this version of the game is just heavily blocked by these two currencies, Territe and Astrite. And it's, you've locked stuff like crafting, upgrading, familiar training, like this guy says again. And that is a problem to me. I think having it as an additional thing on the side is kind of okay, because then, it's not affecting all the players. At this point, what they're trying to do with this game is just basically be like, all right, you're all gonna have to invest into cryptocurrency to even enjoy the game if you really want to in PvP and stuff. Otherwise, you're just gonna play the game really, really very casually otherwise, and that sometimes that isn't a good thing as well, especially if you have a game on the scale of Ni No Kuni, which is an MMORPG. When it comes to MMORPGs, there's no such thing as casual, as Nolar, you might attest to that probably, right? It's like really, really hard to go out of your way and say like, oh, I'm a casual on this MMORPG. At that point, you're not playing the game, in my opinion, correctly, because MMORPGs are a huge time investment. So it's like, okay, if I wanted to put the time investment into this game, I can, but because of how the game is, that time investment is effectively worthless because everybody else is just going to be better than me off rip because they spent on the game. So that's a problem in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's the bigger problem, to be quite honest, for me.
Right. I mean, it just really feels icky when it comes to that. And again, you can argue the point of how is this any different than like Seven Deadly Sins or any other prominent PvP game where people are going to wail out and spend and all that stuff. In the end, it's all about enjoyment. But if you're angry that you didn't get number one because that's the difference between like $50 and $60, like that's a whole other context and framing to me.
Yeah.
So let's head over to the other stuff we've had lined up here. So yeah, the reason why we bring this up is because it's Netmarble. They did a Ni No Kuni. We got a report that they're using this same Marble X transaction in the future games they have coming up, like this King of Fighters ones, another Seven Knights Revolution, Monster Arena. Like there's so many games, right? So right now we've got Ni No Kuni Crossworlds down there, Golden Bros, which is a whole other thing that isn't even out, but it's got controversy through the roof. There's other games that are coming out that will have something along these lines. So yeah, this is their roadmap. And this is something we're gonna need to discuss. And I personally think this is not a good look. And this is like Netmarble going ham on being the villain, at least in the gacha industry, of promoting hardcore cryptocurrency within the game. Now, I'm gonna go on my soapbox here and tell you why I don't like this at all, because they're marketing as play to earn. Right? That's the phrasing that a lot of these companies, Square Enix, all these companies that want to promote cryptocurrency and NFTs in their games, they say that. Now, here's why I hate it. Sure, I play the game, I play to have fun. And you're telling me there's a chance for me to earn a little bit of cash or like a cryptocurrency, which then can become cash. Here's the problem. In every MMO and every other gacha game I played or whatever, where there's a marketplace, and of course, cryptocurrency is a market, right?
Yep.
So like, wow. When I used to play World of Warcraft, you had bots farming for gold, and I could spend real life money for gold and transaction that way, right? My main point is they're bots. If you're telling me I could play Ni No Kuni for 5 hours a day and earn like 1,000 asterite, and that's $10. Cool. But I could go download a bot, make 50 accounts, and I could earn 5,000 asterite per account 24 hours a day. Yeah, your value of 4 hours is minuscule compared to those guys. And so if there's a market for me to make a lot of money with these cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, and especially since, as you said, Gail, this game is already auto, I physically don't have to do anything. I just hit auto and just make a clicker, make sure I get to each quest point and whatever. Yeah, and I'm going to earn asterite, I'm going to earn terite or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm going to eat the pool of 1 billion tokens a lot faster. And your value of 4 or 5 hours a day, which is hardcore. I mean, playing a game for 4 or 5 hours a day is what I would call you are pretty much, you're on the way of no lifing it, right?
Yep.
That is minuscule. It means nothing compared to bots. So that's why, and like I play a lot of MMOs where the bots ruined a game, ruined an economy. So to me, the concept of play to earn, it just means nothing to me. So. All right, now I step up my soapbox. Yeah, this is literally Netmarble's roadmap. This is their future. This is what they're gonna do to implement Marble X and any other cryptocurrencies in their games, and I am not here for it.
Yeah, I want to also add a couple of points. Is that right now, obviously, this is their roadmap, but that doesn't mean they can stick to their roadmap. I know a lot of people who are excited about Grand Cross Origins, right? But what if they decide, you know what, let's have a split method kind of thing where, you know, we have our existing IPs, they have their normal gacha games. You've got Grand Cross, King of Fighter All-Stars and stuff, right? But what if they decide, you know what, these other IPs that we're making games on, like King of Fighters Arena is already becoming a blockchain-based game, right? But what if they decide later on, oh yeah, let's make Grand Cross and Seven Knights, let's make them an actual, blockchain-based game. That could happen, right? Obviously, right now they've said that they don't want to do that. They want to avoid it at all costs if possible, right? But, or they haven't said they want to avoid it at all costs, but what's to say they won't add it in the future? That's the big problem here, right? And I, as Noir said, there's a lot of things behind this that can go wrong, and it will go wrong, I feel, inevitably. And I mean, we've seen it a little bit with Ni No Kuni. There's that whole situation of Golden Bros, which we might cover at a later date, because we still need time for that to, develop. That story needs to develop a little bit more, it feels like. But, with all of this going on and stuff, it just feels like I don't even think it's an honest idea, because they're making money off these NFTs and these purchases that people are going to make using black diamonds and stuff. But the thing is, we don't know exactly how beneficial it will even be. That's the thing, with how volatile the crypto market is, with the recent market crash that happened with Luna and stuff, or whatever that was, right? It is a very, very volatile market. So who knows, one day, we just saw it as well. This isn't good. This is very, very bad. If you bought this at $71 and then now it's priced at $14, you would be mudded effectively. That's all your time, even if you earned that by just playing the game. That's, like I said, time wasted. Then you've lost money as a result of that, right? Money is money, but it's still like is it really that much worth it for you to have played that much to earn so little? It's a very tricky thing. So in my opinion, I'm not the biggest fan either, I will admit, but in all honesty, I'm just not also very excited about the way they're handling it in game, more so than anything else, because it's affecting the gameplay. It's affecting people's enjoyment of the game more so than anything else, and that's a problem to me. If you want to add it as a play to earn thing, it's a very small thing on the side, fine. But if you're affecting it in game, where people can either set up bots or they can just buy to just go to the top of PvP or something like that, what's the fun in that at that point, right? What are you really gaining out of playing a game where whatever time you invest is not going to mean much at all?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is we play games for fun, right? Yep. We want to enjoy ourselves. And so if your goal to do something is, I could make money out of it, then it's not a game anymore, it's a job, right? So it's a whole other thing. I think we had one last tab, or was that it, Gail?
I think that was it. No.
If you go back to the other image and then go all the way down. So these are the companies that are invested or are partnering with Marble X. a lot of Netmarble, as you guys can see. There's a few other games in here. These aren't just companies, but they're games. So of course, Netmarble is our publisher developer. The one I wanted to note was Kabam. Kabam is big in Marvel Contest of Champions. That's almost a 7-year game running, I think. They had Realm of Champions, but that died pretty quick because they didn't know what they were doing. But yeah, these are all the companies involved in investing into Marble X partnerships. They could put cryptocurrency, blockchain technology within their games. This might be something where you're gonna like, if you're all for it, by all means, these are something you're gonna look out for. But if you are like me and Gail, where we don't think has its place in gacha gaming or gaming as a whole, maybe these are companies you want to avoid. And so, and again, this is just one type of cryptocurrency. There's probably others for mobile gaming or gaming in general. We don't know, but this is the one that we know is tied to Netmarble, which is inherently a gacha gaming company, and it is interesting. We are in interesting times, and if you guys want to get your voices heard, just don't play the games, right? Avoid it as much as possible. I mean, again, that's a whole other discussion we can have, but there's ways to try to make your voices heard. If no one buys the NFTs, if no one uses the cryptocurrency, people will understand, right? They'll get the hint, because in the end, money is the only thing that talks, and
Exactly.
you just got to tell them that.
Yeah.
Anything else, Gail, before we close it out?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of time before this bubble kind of bursts. I feel like it's one of those things where there is a bubble regarding this. Maybe they can refine it in the future and it becomes a lot more viable, but right now the way it is, it's just not viable, to be quite honest. And with the market being this volatile, it's just so much of a risk you're investing in. But in terms of the gameplay experience as well, that's, again, like I said, my biggest issue is I'm just concerned that this will just ruin people's gameplay experience more than anything else, because we play games for fun, like you said, Nola, right? So if that is being affected, I don't want anything to do with that sort of thing, to be quite honest. So to me, I'm hoping that, game companies ease off on it, or at the end of the day, just don't play the games from these companies. That's all that I have to say to that.
Yeah, guys, I mean, we kind of wax poetically for a while here. You guys let us know your thoughts. Are you interested in this cryptocurrency being introduced in the market, or in the gaming market and the gacha market as a whole? Are you okay with it? If you are, let us know, like, why, your reasonings. We're kind of interested, because it is we're in a new territory, uncharted waters here, so we're not really sure we're gonna go. But as a whole, at the very least, Netmarble hasn't done it right with their implementation. Maybe a company does come across it correctly, puts it in right, and everyone enjoys it and goes that way. But right now, it's off to not a good start, I would say. So, guys, yeah, let us know your comments down below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you know when we go live with content. And once again, thanks a lot, guys. On behalf of myself and Gail and the rest of the 5 9 Mobile guys, thanks a lot. We'll catch you on the next one. We're out.
Bye.